Want to speak real Korean from your first lesson? Sign up for your free lifetime account at KoreanClass101.com.
Let's begin. 고마워요. Thank you. I think if you just have to remember just one phrase before you travel to Korea, I think this is the phrase that you should know. 고마워요. There are different phrases meaning thank you. For example, 감사합니다, which is more formal, something like I appreciate. But 고마워요 can be used in general for any like casual or formal situation. For example, 저쪽에 가시면 화장실이 있어요. The toilet is over there. And you can just say 고마워요, thank you. Just for your tip, in Korea, it's mandatory to open a bathroom on the first floor of every building. So if you don't know where you can find a restroom, you just go to any big building around you, and then you'll be able to see a restroom open to public on the first floor of each building. 뭐라고 했어요? What did you say? There are two cases. Let's see the first one. 그런데요, 뭐 했어요? 계세요. 뭐라고 했어요? You didn't understand what the other people say, so you can just simply say 뭐라고 했어요? To ask what did you say? But there's another case. Let's see. 옷이 그게 뭐예요? 별로 예쁘지도 않고. 뭐라고 했어요? This case, someone was talking something bad about you, so you're upset, and you can say what did you say? 뭐라고 했어요? To, start your fight. 시끄럽다. Loud, noisy. So if your neighbor is making a lot of sounds, you can just go there and boom, 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 hit the door and say 시끄러. It's too noisy. Or 이 음악은 너무 시끄럽다. This music is so noisy. Or for example, when you're on a bus and people just keep talking, then you can say that. 이 버스는 너무 시끄러워. This bus is so noisy. 사람, person. When you talk about a person, don't use 것 because 것 is for a thing. So you cannot say 이것이 좋아 when you talk about someone you love. Instead, you can say 이 사람이 좋아. 사람 means person. 놓다, to put. So when you just put something, you can just say 놓다. 마우스를 놓다. 아이패드를 놓다. 이거로 할게요. I'd like this. 이걸로 할게요. I like this. Here we have the noun 이거, meaning this. If you want to say that thing, you can say 저거로 할게요. I'd like that. 메뉴판 좀 주실래요? Could we have the menu, please? 메뉴판 좀 주실래요? Could we have the menu, please? You can just simply say menu and say 메뉴 좀 주실래요? To mean the same thing. This is very polite expression, so I recommend you to use that. And if you need something else, you can just replace 메뉴판 with something else. For example, 물 좀 주실래요? Could we have water, please? Or 김치 좀 주실래요? Could we have kimchi, please? 추천해 주시겠어요? Do you have any recommendations? If you're not sure what to have at the restaurant, you can just say 추천해 주시겠어요? Do you have any recommendations? If you're not sure what to order at a Korean restaurant, I would highly recommend you try bulgogi, which is kind of seasoned beef with soy sauce and sugar. So it's a little bit salty, but also sweet, but not spicy. 불고기를 추천합니다. I recommend 불고기. 이름이 뭐예요? What's your name? You can simply just give your full name or just first name if someone asks you 이름이 뭐예요? What's your name? For example, if someone asks me 이름이 뭐예요? Then I'll say 이재희입니다, using my full name. So it's kind of sounding rude if you just give your first name only actually, but if you have the name in English or name in non-Korean words, I think that's okay to also give you only the first name because it's easier to remember. 전화번호가 뭐예요? What's your phone number? That might be a little bit more personal question. We might ask someone's ID of some messenger program like KakaoTalk or Line, but we usually don't ask someone's telephone number. But if you are asked because for official purpose or something like that, then you can just give the, number with the area code. 전화번호가 뭐예요? 02-3552 입니다. So usually Korean numbers have 2 or 3 digits and 4. And you can just make some pause between 02-1234-5678. Make sure you make the pause so that they can get it easily. 한국 음식을 좋아합니까? Do you like Korean food? Yeah, that would be one of the common questions that you hear if you're not Korean. For sure, you have to say 네, 좋아합니다. Yes, I like it. Even though you don't like some part of, like you don't like spicy ones, in general, I recommend you to say 네, 좋아합니다. I like it. But if you want to be real honest, you can say 별로요. It's also. Or 아니요, 별로 안 좋아합니다. No, I don't like it. 카드 돼요? Do you take credit card? 카드 돼요? Do you take credit card? Almost all the restaurants, they accept credit cards. So even if you don't have any Korean currency, it's okay to just go to restaurant and just pay by your credit card. 사진 좀 찍어주실래요? Could you take a picture of me, please? So if you're alone, but if you want to take a picture of you with something beautiful, you can just ask, 사진 좀 찍어주실래요? 한국에 가본 적이 있습니까? Have you been to South Korea? So if you're not living in Seoul, but if someone thought that like you're very interested in Korean culture and language, they will ask you this question. 한국에 가본 적이 있습니까? Have you been to South Korea? If you have, you can say 네, 있습니다. Yes, I have. Or you can say 아니요, 없습니다. No, I haven't. 화장실은 어디에 있습니까? Where's the bathroom? So 화장실 is the word meaning bathroom. So you can actually ask anything with this question pattern. For example, 슈퍼마켓은 어디에 있습니까? Where's the supermarket? And 지하철은 어디에 있습니까? Meaning, where's the subway station? 지도 좀 주실래요? Could I get a map? It's possible to not have any internet connection on your phone, so you need a map. In that case, you can just go to a tourist information center where you can find almost every tourist spot in South Korea and just say, 지도 좀 주실래요? Could I get a map? 예약했어요. I have a reservation. So when you step into a hotel, when you step into a guest house, the staff will ask you like, 예약하셨어요? Did you make a reservation? Then you can say, 예약했어요. I made a reservation. I have a reservation. 물 주세요. Water, please. This is very simple pattern. Like you can just replace 물 with something else. 김치 주세요. 김치, please. 주세요 can be used for any situations. It sounds polite, but still a little bit casual. If you want to be really polite, you can also say something 주시겠어요? 물 주시겠어요? 김치 주시겠어요? That means, could you please give me something? But for most of the cases, you can just remember 주세요 and say something 주세요 to mean something please. 영어 할 줄 아세요? Do you speak English? Simply, you can also say 영어 하세요. It literally means do you do English? But it can mean do you speak English? You know, if someone says something in Korean and you want to ask the person to repeat this question in English, you can just say 영어로 말해주세요. Please say that in English. 괜찮아요. It's okay. So in Korean, it's better to say something indirectly if you want to be polite. So if you want to say no, it's better to say 괜찮아요, which literally means it's okay, but it can be translated as no. So for example, if someone asks you to buy something, you can just say 괜찮아요 to mean no. It's better than saying 아니에요, which means no, literally, because it sounds too direct, and so therefore it sounds a little bit rude. 실례합니다. Excuse me. You have to catch your bus and you have to go through the crowd. Then you have to say 실례합니다, 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 실례합니다. When you want to ask a question, you can also say 실례합니다, then your question. 잘 먹겠습니다. I will eat well. Thank you for the meal. You're at the restaurant, you got a lot of food and you're about to eat. Before you eat, you have to say 잘 먹겠습니다. Even if you're alone, you have to say 잘 먹겠습니다. 잘 먹겠습니다. 잘 먹었습니다. I ate well. Thank you for the meal. 잘 먹었습니다. When you leave a restaurant, you can say 잘 먹었습니다 to the staff to say thank you for the meal. 맛있게 드세요. Bon appetit. Let's say this is the food that I made with seaweed, huge seaweed. 맛있게 드세요. 맛있게 드세요. 잘 먹겠습니다. I'm hungry. 이거 얼마예요? How much is this? So you go to shopping, you found the item you really want to have, and then you can say 이거 얼마예요? 저거 얼마예요? 그거 얼마예요? Then you get the price, but don't accept that. You have to try the discount. Say 깎아주세요 to get your discount.
Want to speed up your language learning? Take your very first lesson with us. You'll start speaking in minutes and master real conversations. Sign up for your free lifetime account. Just click the link in the description.